First day, well, we arrived in Manila. We spent the first night at the MRC, which is kind of a halfway house for coming and going missionaries. Sometimes they have missionaries who are seriously ill stay there if they're getting treatment at a hospital in Manila. The jet lag was terrible. The flight was really long getting out there. We had a stopover in Taiwan, in Taipei, and then we flew to Manila. Jet lag was really bad, so I was really out of it the first night. Next morning we got up early and we flew out to Bacolod. We arrived at the airport. We disembarked and were kind of shuttled over to the terminal. There was a pile of luggage in a roped off area with about 4 or 5 soldiers standing around with automatic rifles and shotguns, sawed-off shotguns. That was a little different. I mean, I love guns and all, but it was a little unnerving. I wasn't sure exactly if they were guarding the luggage or just what, but so, you know, we were able to get our luggage and nobody got shot. And there was nobody there to greet us. There was nobody from the mission to meet us. We were standing around wondering what's going on. A member happened to be at the airport, a taxi driver, recognized us as incoming missionaries and brought us to his car, put our luggage in, and he drove us to the mission home. We showed up at the mission home, we knocked on the door, the housekeeper answered the door and said, "What are you doing here?" And we said, "We're the new missionaries." And she said, "I know, what are you doing here?" And we said, "There was nobody at the airport. The guy put us in a car and here we came." And she said, okay. And she told the taxi driver to take us to the mission office. So we went to the mission office and they said, "What are you doing here?" We said, "We're the new missionaries." They said, "Yeah, we know. What are you doing here?" So we hung around there. The mission president did eventually show up. Turns out they had the wrong time or something. And yep, there was nobody there. They would have missed us by like an hour or two. They were completely off schedule. They were a little upset that we didn't just wait at the airport. But, you know, when somebody grabs you and throws you in a car and says, "Come on, let's go," I just assumed that was standard procedure. So that was kind of fun. So we had a very brief visit with the president. There was a holiday the following day known as John the Baptist Day. And there was not going to be any transportation the next day, no public transportation. It's a holiday. Everybody takes the day off and throws water at each other in honor of John the Baptist. It's a nationwide water fight, so to speak. And so he said, "We'd rather get you out to your areas than have you stuck here for a few days. So if it's okay with you, we'll kind of shorten things. Normally we have you spend the night and we really get to know you and have a nice meal and everything." And they decided not to do that. Now, we spent a few hours eating lunch. The office sisters, it was their duty to scare us to death, or at least scare us into obeying the rules about not drinking unboiled water, not eating food from the street side vendors, things like that. Warnings of horrible worms that could do horrible things to you, parasites, and all kinds of different things that could cause all kinds of health problems. So after being thoroughly scared, they put us on a bus. We met our companions, we got on the bus and we headed for our area. My trainer was Elder Beckstrand. He was about 3 months from going home. Great elder. We spent a few hours on the bus and we arrived. We stood the whole way. This thing about the Philippines, they cram as many people on a vehicle as they can. And so we stood in the aisle and stood there for a few hours, and we arrived in my... it dropped us off in a nearby town. We caught a jeepney to our area, which was a few more kilometers away, and we got to the house. It was a foursome in the house. I was there with my trainer and 2 Filipino elders. We dropped my bags. He said, "We've got an appointment. You ready to go?" And I said, "Sure. That's why I'm here." So we went out and we taught a first discussion to a man and his daughter. And we committed the man to be baptized. And I ended that day thinking, if this is missionary work, I'm all over it. You know, this is great. You know, I get here, we go out, first thing we do is commit a man to be baptized. So that was the first day. It was hectic. It was crazy. It was fun. My housemates cooked up a special meal. Since I was a greenie, they put green food coloring in everything. We had green rice, green topping, because it's always rice with some sort of topping on it. So they cooked up mungo beans and put green food coloring in everything. So it was green everything. And one of the Filipino elders would not touch the food because he said green is just wrong. It's just wrong to eat food that's green. So but that was the first day, and it was pretty wild, but it was a lot of fun. It was a really good start to my mission.